most of you know, has become a monster of a hurricane.
We are facing a storm that most of us have feared.
I never fathomed that it would bury a city.
Our immediate response to it was to do something. We got to do something.
My reason for coming wasn't nothing more, nothing less than what I did today.
What could I do to be, effective?
People have never talked to each other their whole lives, kind of just become one big family.
One love, one blood, one life, you got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers.
We are here in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center for the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game. Here is Kenny Smith.
Thank you all for coming out and help show support. I think a lot of times as players, you hear about all of the different stories, but this game was put on in 30 hours. 30 hours. It's on national television, it's NBA sanctioned, and it's in the home of the Houston Rockets. I think overall, we've all felt a variety of emotions, from shock to compassion to anger to helplessness. And I think when Houston and myself reached helplessness, we said we needed to react and do something about it. This is the small thing I figured I could help do. But each player here, I just want to let you all know, each player has donated a minimum, and a lot of guys are going way above that. $10,000, which was going directly to the hands of the people that's been victimized. And lastly, to me, there's never been a basketball game with more importance. Thank you.
Today in Houston, we have the opportunity to do something special. We're going to offer a word of prayer for our 200,000 friends who are here from New Orleans and Louisiana, from Mississippi, and from Alabama. And at the same time, we're going to be remembering the victims of 9/11. Would you stand with me for just a moment of silence and prayer? Our Father, our God, you're the maker of us all. Whether we're from the east, the west, the north, the south, or even the Gulf Coast. You're the creator and the sustainer of all that is. And we look to you now for your grace, for your choice blessings upon our friends who are in our city, in our state, who have suffered tragedy. We thank you for the opportunity to welcome them with Houston hearts that are big and warm, with a Texas strength that says we support you as you rebuild. We remember the tragedy of 9/11 on this Memorial Day of 9/11. And we thank you that we are people who believe that we can rebuild, we can be revived, we can restore, and we can rise again. We thank you, Lord, for the chance to show our love today in a wonderful way. In the name of our own sovereign Lord, we pray. Amen. God bless you.
And so we welcome you to the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game here at the Toyota Center. Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Kenny Smith. And Charles, I know that we like to talk about some of the things that Kenny does that amuse us, but he got one right here for sure with organizing this game.
Well, it's about time, and I mean, he's had like 42 years of practice. You know what? This is a great thing. I'm just happy for Kenny, but I just, when we do things negative, the media makes a big deal out of it. I want to congratulate all these players on taking time out of their schedule at the last minute, and this is great.
Kenny, kudos to you for getting this thing organized, and you've assembled a great roster of players as we take a look at who will represent the East and the West here. And very few people saying no when Kenny got on the phone to say, hey, would you be interested in playing?
Not at all, Ernie. Everyone said that they would come. They're here. They supported guys showing up at the last second like AI. I didn't even know. Carmelo walked in the building. I didn't know. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful night.
And so we are underway, and Kevin Garnett with the first shot banks it home. And the West out to the early lead. There have been some trades made at the 11th hour in this game, so you'll see some guys we played in the Eastern Conference playing for the West.
Yeah, we waived the salary cap also.
Well, we'll see who's really in shape and who's not.
Kobe, no, and Garnett with the tip again.
Kevin's always in shape.
It was funny because on the bus, after everything was done, Kobe was like, I hope y'all in shape because we really gonna play today.
Amare Stoudemire with a jumper from the left wing.
I tell you what's interesting about a game like this. This is like an all-star game, and you can tell the guys who are natural basketball players in a situation like this, but they don't have to get the ball every trip up and down the court, and they can just play in the flow.
And still look good. Yeah, a lot of guys, good luck.
Anybody can look good if they give you the ball every time up and down the floor.
And anybody can look good if they threw me a pass like that. LeBron James did.
And kudos to the NBA for also sanctioning the game and getting all the players got jerseys and everything in time. I bet that wasn't easy also.
Well, we missed one, Al Harrington, but that's okay. He had his. He didn't get his in.
That's okay.
But he's here.
That's just one.
Yeah, but he had no question. And also kudos to TNT. Put it on national television in less than 30 hours. They believe it.
Well, listen, man, we can go a day without 10 episodes of Law and Order. I mean, I got every Law and Order episode memorized now. I don't even have to sit around and see who killed somebody.
You're like, oh, I know this one.
I know this one. No, he didn't do it.
T-Mac from way out.
Yeah, everybody in the shelters was asking about you. I told them that you went to the shelter in Atlanta, Charles, and Ernie's been doing so much as well. But it's amazing because
you know what's amazing? America, man.
No question.
Everybody wants to blame some people. But it just amazed me. People never harp on the good stuff. It's been so many people who have stepped up really hard. And I'm just proud to be an American. Yeah, that was some mistakes made, but I don't play the blame game. Let's go forward and rebuild New Orleans.
Amen to that, Charles.
Oh, that's good. I can see it. He's ready. You can see it. I'm off just like he is, I guess. It's not season form. Knowing what's going to happen before it happens.
Mike James inside, and the Rocket faithful show their support.
Oh, that's good. That's another story. Carmelo came back right off, flew in privately over. He had to get a quick plane in. He was out of the country. These guys. And Ernie, let me tell you the real story, though, about one guy that I just had to mention, Elton Brand. Called me from China. He read it on the internet, didn't know what was going on, and just called me and donated. And it's just unbelievable what these guys have done.
And Elton Brand's in China.
Good question. Because I didn't know why he was there. I didn't even ask him because I was excited when he called me. I was just happy that he called. I was getting calls, which is funny. I was getting calls from like Stoudemire and Kobe, and it's crazy when the phone, your kids pick up the phone and be like, Daddy, it's Allen Iverson. Like, Daddy, it's Kobe Bryant.
I'll answer the phone.
Exactly.
I'll get it.
It's good to see Ron Artest back on the basketball court.
Yeah, we got some first guy. I'm the first guy to get him back on the court in the NBA jersey.
It's going to be interesting because
people in Louisiana.
I tell you, man, I'm glad to have him back.
And so are the Indiana Pacers.
I tell you what's going to be good about basketball this year. The Eastern Conference has really improved.
Yeah,
Dramatically. Ooh.
Kobe to Ron Artest from way out. And Jerry Stackhouse, who
he did a great job with the national anthem.
An exceptional job. Mellow from Dwyane Wade.
You know, it's an all-star. Charity games usually everyone lets everyone dunk on them. Today you can see it's a little challenge, a little more competitive spirit.
You can see the rules that we are playing 4 10-minute quarters with a running clock at the 5-minute mark. There will be a brief stoppage so that some subs can be made, and that's where we are right now here in the first quarter. It's a 10-8 game, the West early.
Man, I seen some of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. I seen, you know, opposite families, people that have never seen each other their whole lives, people have never talked to each other their whole lives, kind of just become one big family, you know, in the convention center. And, you know, for us, you know, as myself and the other NBA players that came in today, you know, you seen a lot of smiles on their faces, and that was something that I wanted to get out of today, was to see smiles on a lot of people's faces.
Earlier today at the Convention Center here in Houston, LeBron James and Stephon Marbury. There's LeBron. And Steph and Kevin Garnett and Kenyon Martin all signed autographs and spent some time with the kids there. 1,100 evacuees slept in the Convention Center last night. Approximately 22,000 evacuees have come through the center to receive some type of assistance since Katrina hit.
Kevin Garnett played football before?
Looked like he had.
It probably wasn't. He probably made a good decision.
Yeah.
It worked out good for him financially.
We got a lot of new rockets on these teams. It's gonna be interesting what they do next year.
There's one of them, Derek Anderson.
Minnesota? You talking about Minnesota, Kenny?
No, I'm talking about the Rockets.
Oh, the Rockets gonna be a lot better. Stoudemire, Swift, Derek Anderson, they're gonna be good. I got them picked as the second best team in the West.
As you can see at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, wholesale changes, both the East and the West.
Not much drop off in talent either.
Exactly. Stephon Marbury handles.
It's going to be interesting for him in New York with Larry Brown.
And Joe Johnson in Atlanta is going to be interesting too.
What I tell you, in 3 years, the Hawks going to make the playoffs, Kenny.
3 years. It was Shaq's moving to Atlanta.
I'm telling you, Kenny. Kenny, Atlanta going to be in the playoffs.
I won't talk bad about anybody on a day like today.
No, I'm not that bad, but Atlanta.
No, I said I won't.
They got a chance. They might not make the playoffs, but they're going to be much improved.
But Damon Jones off the mark from the corner. Damon Jones and LeBron James will be teammates this year as Rashard Lewis converts on the other end. How about Cleveland? Are they a better team now?
They are better. They are better.
They got a lot of spaces now for LeBron and get the avenues to drive and lay in.
You know, but I honestly like the Miami trade. I think Jason Williams going to be terrific. I think Posey going to be terrific. I think the key is going to be Antoine Walker. If he's going to be able to help Shaq on the board, that's going to be huge. And I think Detroit is much improved also.
There is Joe Johnson. It took a while for him to become an Atlanta Hawk.
Yeah, but they gave him $90 million. It was worth it.
In a soap opera type atmosphere.
And somebody gave up their... excuse me. I have to touch something up in the sky here a little bit. But yeah, they gave up a lot in terms of timing.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking about Phoenix. That's what, you know, you timing a lot of times you going to be a champion possibly or make the championship. It's those one piece to just add and you take away. That was a big risk, I thought.
Well, Wayne Richardson and Joe Johnson both gone from that puzzle from last year.
They lost 2 starters, and they've got 7 out of 12 new players.
They still got that guy, Amare Stoudemire.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. His game is going to be different next year, him and Steve Nash, because teams can cheat off Quentin Richardson and Joe Johnson. That lane's going to be a lot more compact.
That's a big risk. That's a big risk.
I don't know hey, those guys, you have to stay at home. That opened up the lane for Steve Nash and Amare. That's going to close up.
But he could play though.
Who?
Joe Johnson could play.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm saying, but he kept the floor spread for Quentin, him and Quentin, for Amare and Steve Nash to drive the lane and dunk all the time.
Carlos Cruiser with the follow. You saw Dante Jones of the Grizzlies has checked in, and so has Chauncey Billups for the East.
Hey, my guy who's going to be a sleeper is Jason Williams and James Posey down in Miami. I really like that trade for Miami. As long as you got Shaq and D Wade, though, you don't need much else.
Hey, Damon Jones looking for a new nickname, by the way. I talked to him today. Now that he's gone from Miami, he cannot be the Butler anymore. And here's what we've come up with. Okay. You got King James there. You got a king on the court. He's fine with court jester. So maybe CJ the CJ. Oh, man.
Well, you know the thing he got to worry about, he's not going to be getting all them wide open threes now.
We call him the star follower.
Gilbert for 3.
Gilbert Arenas had a breakout year last year. He was fantastic. But they lost Larry Hughes, boy, I tell you. Him going to Cleveland, it's going to be, Cleveland got a lot better.
Joe Johnson. Oh, good luck. And Gilbert Arenas stepped out of bounds.
I know it, but y'all gonna think I'm crazy.
We do. Are you gonna say something too?
I got a sleeper team for y'all. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Let me see. What would make you say that they're sleeping, except for the fact that you played for them and you want to be retired with their jersey?
I think Allen Iverson and Chris Webber and Sadio Dalembert together. I love the kid Iguodala. They're gonna be together for a longer period of time. They're going to be solid. I picked them to win their division.
Here's Connie Hawkins over there.
The great Connie Hawkins. I always call him the great Connie Hawkins.
The Alvin assistant. Avery Johnson.
Under 20 seconds to go now. Gilbert Arenas makes it a 20-14 game.
Oh, you let me tell you what Sam Cassell told me about the Clippers.
We'll do that in the second quarter because there's only 6 seconds left here.
He said he was making the playoffs. But that's what he told me. I said, you're going to be a miracle worker.
If they play in the NBDL, they'll make it.
A quarter in the books, 20-14, the West over the East. Now the Orlando Magic team plane carrying supplies and goods stopped off in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this past week. Members of the Magic organization, including Grant Hill and his wife Tamia, handed out food and water to assist victims of Hurricane Katrina.
It's almost kind of scary that, one day here's a city, and the next day the city's gone, underwater. And it lets you know that something being in life. And I remember watching some of the footage and just being like I couldn't even believe it. Like one day it wasn't that much water, and the next day the whole city is underwater. I couldn't fathom that. I've seen, pictures of floods and stuff, but that's to see the water actually kill people. I couldn't. It was like watching. It was like Twilight Zone. I couldn't believe it.
And we welcome you back to the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game. Earlier today, Kobe Bryant stopped by the Reliance Center here in Houston and met some of the evacuees, including this young man. And here's Craig Sager with that young man. Segs?
Well, that young man is Ray Bright. They talked about these things being shelters, but actually a home. We walked in there. He took us around, showed us everybody. Tell us what it's like where you're living now. Huh? Tell us what it's like in the shelter where you're living. What happened today?
Nothing. I'm just doing around. I'm fine.
What are you going to do tomorrow?
Nothing. To play all day.
I thought you said you're going to go to school tomorrow.
I am. I'm going to play at school.
Oh, good. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Kobe.
You want to go see him?
Yeah.
Okay, you come with me. We're going to go over and see Kobe right now. He's over on the bench. I know he'd like to see you because you did such a good job taking us all around today. There's Mr. Bryant. You see him? Which one's he? Which one's Kobe? There you go. You made quite a friend out there today, Kobe.
It's my man right here. It's my man. You having fun? Huh? Yeah. You want to come out there and shoot a little bit? Huh? You want to take my spot? You take my jersey? Huh? You can't fit my jersey?
Enjoy it, Ray. Kobe, you're in charge now. Back to you, EJ.
All right, Segs, they have become fast friends here on this day in Houston. By the way, I want to draw your attention to the crawl at the bottom of the screen, how you can help the Red Cross and feed the children. We encourage you folks to continue to give.
You know, one of the biggest things that, you know, the people were telling us is I just felt that overall, for 3 hours, they could feel a little normal, Ernie. You know, it's like a basketball game, you come, you cheer. If you're watching it, you yell, you laugh. You know, for 3 hours, you say, you know what, I forgot for a second. And that's really what it's all about. That's what the game portion of the whole event is about.
Chauncey Billups off the mark for 3, and Stephon Marbury with the follow. Garnett with a rebound.
Did New York get better, Chuck?
I think they are better. I do. I think they are better. But it's all going to come down to Stephon Marbury and his relationship with Larry Brown.
This game has become the defensive struggle we anticipated, hasn't it?
Well, you know, you can get hurt playing defense. That was my theory. I always thought you'd get stuck in that crouch if you got down and played defense. And that's bad for your back.
By the way, Tyronn Lue is not a Piston.
Well, Tyronn Lue, I tell you what.
They took Lindsey Hunter's jersey.
That reminds me of training camp when they used to not put your name up. You knew you weren't going to make the team then.
The newest Hawk, Joe Johnson.
I'm telling you, man, the Hawks are going to be much better.
Uh-oh, gotcha.
I don't know what they're thinking, but they said they're going to play Joe Johnson at the point. He can't play the point.
No, he's not a point guard. He can play point in a hurry. Like if something's wrong, you got 2-3 guys out.
Boy, Katino Mobley threw up an air ball and is hearing it from the bench.
Ooh. I guarantee he won't stop shooting, though.
Gilbert is pretty good.
He is really good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Each year he gets better, and he's better than I really thought when I first saw him out of Arizona.
Yeah, but I tell you what the problem is. I think the Wizards have regressed. I think it's really going to hurt them losing Larry Hughes.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Tyronn Lue.
2-pointer for Lue.
I'm telling you, Tyronn Lue know them Hawks. He know them Hawks going to be much better. He told me to tell you that, Kenny.
Dante Jones feeding J.R. Smith of the New Orleans Hornets. Under 6 minutes to go. The running clock, as we point out, set at the 5-minute mark. They'll have a few subs, 10-minute quarters, and a 28-26 game here in Houston.
Look at Tracy McGrady's legs.
What about him?
I saw a chicken the other day had legs like that. Look how skinny his legs are, man.
I can't talk.
Somehow he's seen his way past that, Charles, to be pretty good.
You know what? He's a heck of a basketball player, man. Look at the bottom of his legs, how skinny they are.
Gilbert Arenas a hair short from the line.
You know what? But it really going to come down to with the Rockets is how well Yao Ming plays. So we know Tracy's going to play well. I like Derek Anderson. I like Stromile Swift.
Just past the 5-minute mark, a mandatory timeout will be coming up here soon. Kevin Garnett going to launch.
You know what? Minnesota's going to be very interesting. I don't think they've done anything to improve that team. They got a new coach, but that's it. Because Kevin needs a lot of help. Because he is lonely.
LeBron James.
He reminds me of me when I played in Philadelphia. He can give you all he got. It ain't going to be enough.
Charles, you've never been lonely.
Hey, listen, boy, when I was in Philadelphia, after Doc and Moses left,
you were lonely.
I was fighting with a BB gun.
Kobe. Back to T-Mac.
What about Miami, Chuck?
I love Miami. I tell you what,
You think it's not too many?
No, because they didn't lose anybody in Porter. And I think Jason Williams is going to be terrific when Shaq. when Shaq goes out the game, they can play a faster tempo. I love James Posey. The key is going to be Antoine Walker, how he's going to help Shaq on the boards. And Udonis Haslem.
Timeout on the floor. Earlier today at the Star of Hope shelter, housing 87 evacuees, some NBA players handed out balls and supplies to evacuees of Hurricane Katrina. Al Harrington, Chuck Person, Darrell Wright, Amare Stoudemire hung around to sign autographs and take pictures. That's what this day was all about.
What I saw today was a collection of people who have obviously been through a devastating time, and but are not feeling. They're not down. Their spirits aren't down. They're in a place right now where it's a place of strength. You know, it's a bounce back type of attitude and energy, you know, that I got from them. I didn't see anybody holding their heads down. Everybody was just upbeat and spirited. And you know, when you think about what they went through, you know, you have to ask yourself, well, you know, would we be doing the same thing? Would we be in this same type of place where they're at right now? How quickly would we be able to bounce back? And I have to tell you, the energy is just tremendous. It was just overwhelming.
Give me that, dog.
And we welcome you back.
Giving out goggles and stuff.
Toyota Center. This is the culmination of a day which has just been reaching out, the NBA and its players, to those who were affected by Katrina, and it has been a heartwarming day all around. And the thing that strikes me, guys, is that the people that we met today talked about how much it meant to them to have these NBA players and broadcasters, et cetera, come and see them. It works the other way, too. It just fires you up. It inspires you to see that these folks who have been what they've been through can now look you in the eye and say, we've been through the worst. It's going to get better. We'll be all right. It's unbelievable.
You know what's interesting, Ernie? I've had 2 life-changing experiences in my life this summer. When I went over to Iraq and Kuwait, Dubai to visit the troops, they were so excited to meet you. It was unbelievable. And then being in Atlanta and Birmingham the last few days, being in the shelter, the people were really excited to meet you. And those are the 2 most stressful things in the world right now. And I can't, so fame and celebrity, man, that's the best part about it, to bring a smile to their faces for a little bit of time.
You know, and we basically gave out about, oh my goodness.
We interrupt this thought to bring you Tracy McGrady.
Wow. There's about more than 5,000 of the evacuees that we just gave tickets to be part of this game. And plus, like I said, one of the requirements we had was every player had to donate the money and give it out themselves, not their handlers, not their assistants, no one. And that's, every time I said that, they was like, that's what I want to do. I want to get in the trenches and be with these people and let them know that they're not on the island by themselves and we care.
You know, I want to take the time to be serious for a second or two. America is the greatest country in the world, but it's really divided by economics. And it's been really shown in this episode down in New Orleans, Miami, and Alabama. And this has to be a wake-up call for black kids, white kids, Hispanic kids. You got to get your education. You cannot rely on the government to come in times of need. That's why I always stress education. We cannot, poor people in America, no matter what color they are, can't rely on the government. Not that they're all bad, but we can't rely on them. So you go out there, you get your education, you get a good job. Don't rely on them.
You know what, one of the things and messages I was saying is, Charles, is that I think when I talked about anger, I don't think people were angry at the service of what happened. It's more the response time. And, you know, and I think that's what everyone became angry is how long it took. Yeah, you know, I grew up in Queens, New York, but I can tell you, if I stand on 125th Street in Harlem and dial 911 and dial 911 from Park Avenue, I'm going to get the same service, but the response time is different. So as
that's
athletes,
economics.
Right, and as athletes, and former athletes and people of success, it's important that we say, you know what, in your time of need, we're going to respond quickly. So now when the assurance and everything else does come in, we help you.
And the problem with happened is now there's the blame game. And it's a shame because politicians, once they get involved, they screw everything up. They start blaming each other. Hey, them just Americans to me. And I'm really glad they stopped calling them refugees. They're evacuees. But like I say, man, I tell all these poor people out there, God bless you, number one, but get your education. Then nobody can control your destiny. You should be able to control your own destiny. I know I harp on education, but if you got an education, you can get a good job, and something bad still could happen. But at least you're in a better situation of trying to catch up and be successful again. You cannot rely on the government if you don't have your education. Get your education, kids, black, white, or Hispanic.
Well said, Chuckster.
On a test for three. The game is starting to heat up a little bit. Now that the jitters is out.
And boy, nobody got no jitters.
Jitters out.
What you talking about?
Yeah, they got jitters. I ain't touched a ball in 3 months jitters.
And Amare Stoudemire begging for a call as he comes down the other way. A 43-39 game, the East with the lead at Kobe over LeBron.
He has an array of shots that you don't think that you would practice. You probably practice.
You know what? I tell you, we're talking about all these teams. The Lakers are going to be very interesting.
Interesting good or interesting bad?
I think they're going to be better. I actually think Kwame Brown, believe it or not, might play good in L.A. Let me tell you why I say that. Maybe he's not a franchise player. Maybe he's going to be more comfortable being the third guy behind Kobe and Lamar Odom. So, people expect him to be a franchise player in Washington. Every player is not a franchise player.
Steve Francis,
franchise on star. Right on cue. Franchise for franchise player.
A 2-point game at the half, 45-43. The NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game. 2-point game at the break here on TNT.
It's more powerful than a hurricane. Help victims of Hurricane Katrina and thousands of other disasters across the country each year. Call or visit redcross.org today.
Back here at the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. This has been a spot where a lot of evacuees from the Gulf have come to try to recover and then move on from Katrina. And this game today is really, it serves as a backdrop to what has been a day-long outreach by the NBA and its players, which began early this morning.
I can remember, living in South Carolina and having Hurricane Hugo, and I can remember the devastation for what that did to our coast. And, I never fathomed that it would bury a city.
Wow, this is really happening?
Well, it was kind of tough to grab a hold to because it seemed like it wasn't true on how a hurricane could just wipe out a whole city and state.
You don't see stuff like that happen. You've never seen it, and for it to happen, and it happened here on our grounds in America, that just, it was mind blowing, and I was just trying to figure out my family and trying to figure out what could I do to be, effective.
My heart was devastated just like everybody else's, for sure. Us as Americans, we tend to rally around our own. When something of this magnitude happens.
My brothers and sisters, dying down there and suffering, so I want to do whatever I could to support the fact that get them back on the right track, give them a little hope, and guide them in the right direction.
There was never second guessing or I need to call you back, Kenny, or nothing like that. It was like, what you need me to do, and I'm there.
You see all this stuff on television and you want to do something, but I want it to be productive. I want it to be really hands-on, making an impact. I'm dealing with Kenny because I know a lot of my money is going towards impact, impacting people's lives, impacting people's livelihoods and their families.
Just want you to know that we are playing a basketball game tonight. That's basically all of the funds and all of the money raised is going directly to you guys. And basically make sure everything and all your needs are met here, not just today, but for weeks and weeks.
Kenny, he didn't know if the game would even happen, didn't know if, we had a location or whatever, but, it was just the initial thought. It's something that we must do. It's just the right thing to do.
It's more powerful than a hurricane. Help victims of Hurricane Katrina and thousands of other disasters across the country each year. Call or visit redcross.org today.
Welcome back to Houston and the home of the Rockets, the Toyota Center, as we move to third quarter action here at the Hurricane Relief Game.
Welcome back to the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game. So many vivid pictures that bring back memories that will live forever from the hurricane and the devastation and destruction along the Gulf Coast. One of the most poignant, probably, is going to be the one where you see people stranded on the roof of buildings waiting for help. With me, two ladies who actually had to fight for their lives for survival, Dorothy Wishel and T.M. Gray. Any way to explain to us where you were and how scared and devastating it was?
I was at 2427 Tupelo in the lower ninth wall, and I was very scared. It was a tragedy I'll never forget.
You were stranded on the roof for how long?
For 3 days. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today, and I thank God and I thank her.
Tim, she says it wasn't for you, she would not be here. What did you do, and what was your reaction when the storm started to swell?
I had took her out with me out the window. I kicked the ignition out the window, and I took her out the window, and she came with me and held her breath. And I told her to do what I do, and she followed me. And she lead to another way to by a tree branch. When she came by a tree branch, I took a stick and I pulled her hand, and she came towards me, and I pulled to her and climbed up on the roof for 3 nights.
What did you able to get out of the house? What did you bring
out the house through out the window, bedroom window.
Did you bring anything with you?
No, I only came in my pajamas and my drawers. I don't have nothing. Everything is gone. The house was full with water covered.
How did you make it through those 3 devastating days?
Nothing, just lay down on the beach. I lay down on the roof, and then she was sleeping. I was woke. Every helicopter passed, got a bit close to us. They didn't watch us. They just looked at us and just kept going while I was waving my hand and the stick, asking for help. Nobody, they looked forward towards us. We just stayed up there and just slept up there. We really didn't get too much sleep.
And I drank the dirty water because I was thirsty and dehydrated.
I kept putting it on top of it.
Are you ready to rebuild your lives here in Houston, or you can go back to New Orleans?
I'm going to try to make my life here.
Well, hopefully you get a lot of help from this game and everybody reaching back. Congratulations. Glad you're able to make it through it, Tim. I know Dorothy says the same thing about saving your life.
Right.
Thank you, EJ.
All right, thank you, Craig. And the stories you hear, and Kenny, you firsthand, we heard those stories today from those we saw at the various shelters who talked about not only those days when the storm hit, but those who had been at the Superdome and then others who had been evacuated to here. And it goes, Kenny, from times as you see the call, and then we continue to ask for help for the Red Cross and the Feed the Children. There are folks who were so close, this close to giving up hope last week, and it is so encouraging to see those people who today have said, we got through the worst of it. There is hope, and we'll be all right.
Ernie, it's Anytown, USA, and I looked on that screen and I saw people who looked like me, dressed like me, sound like me. Could have been Queens, New York. You saw Stephon Marbury crying in a press conference. Could have been Brooklyn, New York. Like, we understand that these are the communities that we came out of, and we have to empower some people who can't empower themselves because of this incident. And they're not forgotten. This is not one-day thing. This is not going to be a one-day thing. This is going to be a continuing effort to make sure that people are allowed to get back to a normalcy. or better than they were. That's the goal, better situations than before the storm. But when you see the kids, they know every stat, they know every player. They miss every game. They don't miss a game. This is what it's all about.
Avery Johnson, coaching one of the teams here today, said it best, too. He said that tragedy didn't hit Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. It hit America.
Yes, sir.
And we're seeing America's response.
And Avery Johnson, being from New Orleans, still missing 3 people in his family. He's got tons of family.
But I've talked to him today, just before the game, too, and he said everybody
got him all
accounted for now.
He was like, there's Mario Elie over there with him, former Rocket. But the one thing he said was it was almost like a reunion, class, a high school reunion, if you look in there with all those people that he knew in those shelters.
Steve Francis, a little shake. Catch a little glass. Under 15 seconds to go now in the third quarter. Mike James holds and launches and connects.
I like Mike James' game. He plays hard. He plays hard.
82-73 the count. Our buddy Kenny headed up a group of NBA players who met up with Hurricane Katrina evacuees at Houston's Reliance Center. Kobe Bryant, Dwyane Wade were there, along with many others, signing autographs, lifting spirits. What a day.
God works in many different ways. Kenny called me. Kenny Smith called me two days ago, and asked me about this, and it was just a perfect situation. From the donation of money, to the opportunity to come down here and actually meet the people that was involved in this. That's that's two of the perfect scenarios for a person in my position. My mother always told me, who are you if you don't be effective, if you don't take what you have professionally and use it to be effective in somebody else's life. And getting this opportunity to be out here, like I said, is an honor and a pleasure to be around these people.
To the delight of the crowd here at Toyota Center in Houston, the one and only Harlem Globetrotters.
You know what, Ernie? These guys donated $200,000. $200,000. And that was unbelievable.
With more on that, we go to Craig Sager.
Well, Ernie, for 80 years, the Harlem Globetrotters have been the ambassadors around the world for the game of basketball. Right now, they're meeting with 12 evacuees from the Reliance Center. These kids not only lost everything in the devastating hurricane, but they lost their family members. Right now, they're trying to locate family members, close ties, somebody so they can have a home once again. Right now, they're with the Globetrotters. With me, Manny Jackson, the CEO and owner. A great contribution on behalf of the Trotters to this relief effort.
Well, thank you, Craig. People don't realize how tough these people have that have been displaced. As ambassadors of goodwill, who traveled every place, we felt the least we could do to give back.
One of the things Charles Barkley always says, he wants to know where his money is going. You have already allocated and said where this money is going. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we did a couple things. One, we knew long-term families have to have homes. So we donated $100,000 to Habitat for Humanity to start the rebuilding process. The second thing, because of the dreams that young people have for education, we put $50,000 in a pot so they can continue their education. The other $50,000 we given to Kenny Smith, this group here, to make distributions to the evacuees. So we know where the money's going to go.
Well, we thank you very much for your generous offer, and we also thank the Globetrotters for making the lives of these kids a little bit better today. Back to you, EJ.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. And I know, Kenny, that contribution by the Harlem Globetrotters obviously means a lot to you, too. And you've had other donors as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of donors, from Compass Bank to Arab American community. We had Johnson & Johnson. Just an array of people who came out and showed support. And this is what it's all about.
So with myself
and Michael Dahl and Chico Robinson. I want to thank those guys for helping me. What I decided to do was I gave $250,000 to a charity in Alabama. I had made up my mind I was going to give $1 million up for this whole thing. So I gave $250,000 to a charity in Alabama that I knew about. And with the rest of the money, I didn't feel comfortable. So what we decided was I'm going to buy 5 houses in Atlanta and give it to some of the evacuees. That was my little small way of helping these people who really need help. I just can't give money to any charity.
Big, Charles. That's not small.
I know, but I didn't feel comfortable just giving money to any charity and not know where it's going. I wanted to know where it was going. So I want to thank those guys for helping me get the situation with the houses started. And I'm hoping, but I want to give some money in Alabama, and hopefully they'll use that money wisely. But I'm really excited about buying these 5 houses.
You know what, too? I want to shout out, everyone's saying, oh, Kenny, great job, but I had a lot of help. A lot of great people, obviously TNT and the NBA, but the staff that kind of put together on the fly with Carmen and Lisa Joseph, Gwendolyn Osborne. It's just a lot of people stepping up. Andre Napier, just stepping up, doing things big time for a big reason.
Because let me tell you something. After meeting with the evacuees, the number one thing they need is housing. I know a lot of people are donating goods, but those people need housing, and that's the number one priority for those people right now. They can't stay in those shelters that long. They need some housing. So all these charities need to look at that at some point. It's great that people are donating goods, but these people need houses, first of all, and secondly, they got to get these kids in school.
A breakaway dunk by Dante Jones. Along those lines, too, of housing, Derek Anderson has put together the SOS group, the Support Our Survivors group, and you can check that out at supportoursurvivors.com, and that is all intended to build homes and rebuild homes and give folks a place to live in the wake of Katrina. And there you see the shirts that a lot of those guys are sporting here.
Robert Pack and Mario and Avery.
There's DA right there.
And it's big. We had the impromptu concert by Kanye West, who came in here, gave us an impromptu concert. That's what it's all about. They called me, his manager, Don C, called me at about 1 in the morning, Ernie, and would say, hey, I heard about the game.
You get a lot of late night phone calls
this week. Hey, man, the music business. But he's like, hey, I understand you're having this game. We're going to be in the area. We want to come through and help any way we can. And here he is. Got off a plane at 4:45, and he's in the building.
Dante Jones with the finish. It's a 94-77 West lead. The guys, the officials at today's game, Benny Adams and Derek Collins. And Benny Adams from New Orleans, Derek Collins from Slidell, lost everything. And here to lend their support today to this cause. Chris Duhan, from that same area, Slidell, Louisiana. So there are a lot of guys who are not in the building today, but who have made contributions in the last couple of weeks. And we salute all of them.
Well, the thing is, man, there's been so many people. We don't want to miss anybody, but obviously you're going to. And I tell you, there's so many people. When I was spending time at the shelters, man, the Red Cross been working their behind off. There's so many great volunteers, and everybody's trying. And we got to make sure when the thing wears off, we don't forget about it, because obviously on everybody's mind right now. But this ain't gonna be a week, month, or year thing. This is gonna be something that's gonna probably take a decade to rectify.
And that's why we continue to tell you to take a look at the bottom of your screen and the crawl and the opportunity to help out through the Red Cross, through the Feed the Children Foundation.
You know what? All the money that generated through the game, Ernie, every single penny is going directly into their hands. From ticket sales, all the money that we get from private donors and private sponsors, every single penny in some way, shape, form, or fashion will go back to them. and I'm making sure of that.
And we knew before this game even started today there would be no loser in this game. There would be winners too numerous to count. And we knew this would be a very fan-friendly atmosphere. And it's been nothing but that here as the players tossing stuff into the crowd. And it's just been a wonderful scene here at Houston's Toyota Center.
This is what it's about, Ernie. If you vision it, it'll happen. If you vision it, it'll happen.
7:13 to play in the game. 94-77, the West with the lead. Kobe and LeBron James meet at midcourt. So the East with their work to do, and Steve Francis launches a three. Carmelo Anthony. And Carlos Boozer with a rebound.
Speaking of Carmelo, I want to give a shout out to George Carl, who had prostate cancer surgery. I hope he's doing well, and I saw that Doug Mo's he's going to have prostate surgery. And I'd like to give, George is a great friend of mine. I know know Coach Mo a little bit. I just want to hope both of them the best.
Let us check in again with Craig Sager.
Well, with me, 13-year NBA veteran Robert Pack, a native of New Orleans, who not only has donated help, supplies, money to the relief fund, but also opened up his home for several families. But I know it's also tough for you trying to locate all your distant relatives and close friends. Tell us how difficult that decision and all that work has been.
It's definitely been difficult. And as a matter of fact, I want to reach out to Debbie Mason, my aunt, 972-740-3002. If you're out there, please call us. We're all looking for you. We love you. We'll come and get you. So Debbie Mason, 972-740-3002.
When's the last time you had contact with her or whereabouts?
It was actually Saturday before the evacuation, and we haven't heard from her since. And people are all over now. We're just hoping that and praying that she's somewhere and just haven't been able to reach us. But we haven't talked to her since Saturday before the hurricane.
The entire country has been affected by this, but you've been directly affected. Can you tell us how these people are struggling and coping, what their attitude is?
They're definitely struggling. They're in denial to the sense that, they think they're going back. I have families in my home who came with 2 or 3 days, felt like the water would be gone, they would be back. And just every day getting up and seeing their looks on their face, the looks of confusion. So I'm just praying to Jehovah that these people get it together, they get their lives together, and we need all the support out there for these people. They're really struggling.
One more time, that number for your Aunt Debbie.
972-740-3002.
Wish you the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Craig. And certainly we hope for the best for Robert Pack. That is a story that has been told many times over the last couple of weeks. A lot of times relatives can be in San Antonio or other places, and then they will be reunited in various shelters. We wish the same in Robert Pack's case.
Everyone they leave, you don't leave and look for what you have. You leave with what you have in your pocket, and you just get and go. And it's not like you just get a cell phone and call people once you get to the places in these shelters.
Wow. Kobe gives them what they wanted to see, and it's 100-85 for the West. The West trying to run away and hide now, and T-Mac can't finish. Gilbert Arenas, Amare Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony. .13 game with 3:35 here at Houston's Toyota Center. The lefty from McGrady. Ron Artest.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what's going to be a very interesting team this year, the Utah Jazz.
Good, interesting, or bad interesting?
I'm not sure yet. I got to see him play.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
This is what's happened. You say a team's interesting. He throws that question at you, and you say, I don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
You know what? Because I don't believe you can. I have to see teams play. I don't think you can assume from year to year a team is, especially that team. They got to solve their point guard problems.
Well, they got the kid out of Illinois. We'll see what he can do.
Oh, I like him. That's what I'm saying. I want to see him play, though.
I like Raymond Felton and Chris Paul. I like those two guards too. I love those point guards.
Well, Chris Paul's in New Orleans. Oh, well, he won't be in New Orleans this year.
Yeah, but you know what? He was going to come. Another guy who caught.
What do you think?
Had a prying game with 500 people.
What do you think to be the best place for the New Orleans team to play their games this year?
Come on to Houston. Come on, we've opened the arms already. It's 223,000 of them.
They got a team here already.
Do it like the Lakers. Lakers Clippers. We'll support it. We supported everything else.
Yeah, you probably can't do it at this last minute, though. But
somebody's got to do it at the last minute.
Hey, the Hawks used to play games in New Orleans. Maybe New Orleans could play some games
in Atlanta.
Why don't you combine the Hawks crowd and the New Orleans crowd? Maybe you'll get a full building one night.
Oh, they're going head-to-head right now. Head-to-head threes. Head-to-head threes. Uh-oh. Head-to-head threes. Gilbert Arenas. Oh. Let's see what he do. One more. Head-to-head threes.
There we go. Don't you dare.
Oh! That was like 4 in a row. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good.
110-93 with just over a minute to go.
That's what I'm talking about, Ernie. There's laughter, there's cheers, there's happiness in the building again.
LeBron James for 3. Closing seconds now of the Hurricane relief game here in Houston. 112-95 the count, about 30 seconds to play. Well, the good thing is, too, here, Charles, looks like everybody came through this one with no pulled muscles and no sprains. And
that was my major concern. That was my major concern.
J.R.
But I just appreciate all these guys taking time out of their schedule. Because this is everybody got to do a little bit.
114-95, as if that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank you all for coming out. We showed our small amount of support, but the main purpose or the goal of this game was for 3 hours, for 2 hours that we were here, it got normal again. Feels a little normal. All right, thanks a lot.
Y'all make some noise for Kenny Smith. All right, check it out. So it's the pair right now, second Artest.
Good to see you.
For the East team and 3 for the West team.
And let's check in with Craig Sager.
All right, as Kenny Smith said, for a few moments, things kind of got normal back here. With me, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady. Guys, obviously, what did this mean to you to come here and be able to see everybody and bring some smiles to some sad faces?
Felt good, man. Felt really good to just bring some laughter, some smiles to everybody. You know, I hope everybody enjoyed the night because it was a bigger cause than just basketball. It's about us, man. America, USA, us, humanity. That's what it's about. In this man home, in this man town right here. You know what I mean? We had some fun.
You mentioned your town. Over 350,000 evacuees have come to Houston. What has it been like here in this town, and what have you been doing?
Well, what I did is I flew my plane back home to Florida, filled it up, to the capacity it can hold with a bunch of supplies and brought it back up here to Houston and just handed it out to all the people that really need it. And when I'm just getting back from China, and it really, you know, when I got back and I came and seen what Houston is doing for these people, it really tells me what type of town this is, what type of city this is. It's unbelievable. Everybody here has warm hearts, and it's great to see. It's a beautiful thing.
Obviously, Tracy McGrady doing a lot on his own with the Rockets as well. We saw Jeff Van Gundy, their coach, a 3-day Hope Fest, Ernie, where they went around and gave everybody their basic services and their needs, working very closely with those evacuees that are still here in Houston.
In a sport that celebrates team play, this was team play at its best today as the NBA and its players reach out to the evacuees from Katrina. It's been an emotional day here in Houston. It's a day that they've reached out not only to the Katrina victims, but we remember 9/11. The most poignant part of the day, a moment of silence at one of the shelters for the victims of 9/11. It's been that kind of day. Thanks for joining us here on TNT.